the leaders of this people. See where the blame goes? The leaders. Because the people who are going down to fight all these wars believe they're doing something great, God's will. God saw footage tonight of a minister of some kind blessing a soldier. How does that work? How does that work? I'm sure that minister isn't serving God. The blessing is actually a curse. I maintain that if you're not a servant of God and you actually bless somebody, you can only give them what you have. And you don't have any blessings to give. Let's repeat that. For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. Therefore the Lord shall have no joy in their young men. It's the young men they're sending down to fight their wars. But it says here, the Lord shall have no joy in their young men, neither shall have mercy on their fatherless and widows. That's what happens. They get killed, they leave wives back home, children back home. For everyone is a hypocrite and an evildoer, and every mouth speaketh folly. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is still stretched out, or is stretched out still. You know, and you continue on to verse 19. Through the wrath of the Lord of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother. Not good, is it? So we are lusting, we are coveting, we are lying, we are cheating, we are stealing, we are killing, to satisfy our lusts. But what I'm showing you now is what is going to happen as a result of our actions. Because for every action there's going to be a result. Listen to Isaiah 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. Of course it's an unrighteous decree if you look at somebody's stuff, lust, covet and kill them in order to get it. That's an unrighteous decree. And that right grievousness which they have prescribed. See, God puts the blame squarely on the people, squarely on the leaders. Isaiah 10:2, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. Oh yes, our rights have been taken away left, right and center. But verse 3, Isaiah 10. And what will you do in the day of visitation, and in the desolation, which shall come from afar? To whom will ye flee for help, and where will ye leave your glory? Well, that's the question we need to ask. We need to seriously ask. Because the leaders of some of these nations, I know that there's a new world order and all these things, but Satan's government is a government in confusion. And don't you think that the Chinese are saying, I wonder when it's our turn? The Russians, when is our turn? And all these other Far Eastern countries, and even the Middle Eastern countries like Iran, and they're saying, when is our turn? When is our turn? You know, some of these Muslims know the Bible better than the Christians, I can tell you that. I'm not supporting anybody. I'm not a Muslim supporter. I'm not a supporter of the United States, Britain, anybody. I'm just a person doing what I'm called to do, and that's it. I just say it how I see it, how I feel led to do it, and after that it's up to you. But Jeremiah 21:5 makes the most sobering announcement yet. And it is this. And this is something you really don't want to hear the eternal God say. he says, "And I myself will fight against you with an outstretched hand and with a strong arm, even in anger and in fury and in great wrath." I tell you, you don't want to hear that. You really, really don't want to hear that the eternal God has said, "I've had enough now. I've had enough of your wars. You have used and abused and killed. Now you know what? I am personally going to fight against you." You know what? To any person or any nation that the eternal God says that to, it was better that they had never been born. You see, one of the problems that we have is that they're saying, well, the God of the Old Testament, you know, he just killed people off, and you just read the Bible and it's in there. Well, I read the Bible, I really do. And we have to ask, why did God order people to be killed? That's what we've got to ask. Was it just that he woke up one morning and said, "Don't like them, don't like how they're dressing, don't like how they're speaking, wipe them out"? Is that what he did? No, of course not. You see, when the nation of Israel was taken out of Egypt and they were told they were going to be given the land of Canaan, and they had to destroy everything in their path, the reason was that land was filled with half-breeds, as in the days of Noah, half men, half fallen angel, Nephilim, sometimes referred to as giants. These are scary things. These are pretty scary things we're talking about here. They have all sorts of names for them. They're called Anakims, Emims, Zamzumims,